Welcome back to Leafs Talk, post-game edition here at Charlie Fitz Whiskey's in Vaughan. Of course, we are live, brought to you by McCain and on TalkingSports.tv. Of course, joined by Marty York and the Big E, Eric Cohen. Gentlemen, a 3-1 win for the Toronto Maple Leafs over the Philadelphia Flyers. A pretty big deal considering they started the season 2-0, but now they go into the home opener looking to be 3-0 on the season, and not against a very easy opponent either in the Ottawa Senators. Craig Anderson, Erik Karlsson, Jason Spezza, and Bobby Ryan and company. No Daniel Alfredsson for the first time in a long time.
Or at all, of course. Daniel Alfredsson made his Red Wings debut tonight for Detroit, and they won 2-1. Most experts that I've listened to and read and doing my research have Ottawa as the top Canadian team in the NHL.
Hey, I saw a couple of magazines that picked the Senators to win the Stanley Cup.
That's what I'm saying. Ottawa right now comes into the year as the team that's expected to have more success than any other Canadian team. And let's not forget, Ottawa did go to the second round of the playoffs last year, and they did so playing without Erik Karlsson for most of the year, Jason Spezza for most of the year, Craig Anderson for a large majority of the year. They lost all three of those guys, and they persevered. They got them back for the playoffs, and then they got thumped by Pittsburgh after beating down Montreal in the first round. But Ottawa's healthy. They add Bobby Ryan. Bobby Ryan, a 30-goal scorer from his days with Anaheim. You know what? Bobby Ryan persevered through a lot of personal demons that he dealt with thanks to his father. But the Ottawa Senators are a good hockey team. And the Ottawa Senators will give the Leafs a good game. But you know what? Toronto, they push around Ottawa. Ottawa struggled against the Leafs last year. Ottawa's going to be playing Buffalo the night before, so it'll be a back-to-back for the Ottawa Senators. I say the Maple Leafs win 3-2 and improve to 3-0.
Wow. You're already making that
already throwing it out there.
You weren't that far off tonight. I mean,
no, I said the Leafs would win. I said
4-3.
4-3.
I said 3-2, but for the Flyers, unfortunately.
Well, here's what I think. I think it's interesting that this season has begun where not only two Canadian teams, but you could even include Montreal, not just Toronto and Ottawa. You could maybe include Montreal. You might even be able to maybe make an argument for Vancouver. But you have teams in Canada, for a change, that seem to be genuine contenders. You know, it wasn't that long ago when a Leaf-Ottawa game really didn't inspire me very much and really only excited people in Toronto and in Ottawa because of the rivalry.
Ontario,
But this is a whole different ballgame. Going into this year, these two teams are genuine contenders.
Absolutely.
I think they both have a shot to go deep into the playoffs. I'm going to say it like that.
Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree with you.
So this game here is not just your usual rivalry game. This game Saturday night, which you could watch at Charlie Fitz Whiskey's right here in Vaughan, by the way, is going to be an extremely entertaining game. I have a feeling, I don't know why I'm saying this, but I'm going to say Ottawa wins it. They'll just be a little fresher. Mind you, they have a game in Buffalo on Friday night.
That's right.
So they're really not. It's going to be very close. I think it's going to be 3-2 Ottawa.
Okay.
3-2 Ottawa. I will say, I'm saying if Reimer's in net, it might be a higher scoring game.
You have more faith in Bernier.
I do too.
I do.
100%. I agree with Michelle. You don't?
I do. That's why I said I want to see Bernier play Saturday.
Yeah. I will say 4-3 Toronto in overtime, though.
Okay, so both teams get points.
Yeah.
See, and let's go back to this goalie situation again. We talked about it in our pregame show. We talked about it last night. You know, there's a potential controversy, I think. Bernier proved without a doubt today what a clutch goaltender he is. He made some terrific saves.
I'm a big fan.
He held the team in there when it looked like they weren't playing well enough to win this game. So, you know, I won't go so far as to say he stole the game, but he was the major reason that they won this game and won their and as a result won their second road game for the first time since Maple Leafs were since their inception. That's a long time.
They've been around. They're not Columbus or Nashville. They've been around for a long time.
That's a long time. I mean, hell, that's over 100 years.
That's right.
Okay, so let me ask you guys this. I know this is just a proverbial question, throwing it out there. You are just a GM for a team. We're not going to put labels on this team. But your goaltending duo is Jonathan Bernier, James Reimer, or would you rather have goaltending duo of Craig Anderson, Robin Lehner? Those two goalies are very good as well. I mean, talk about.
That's a tough
that's
question.
Right.
That's
Those two.
See, you know, the difference is that in Ottawa's case, they've got a goalie for now, which is Anderson, and a goalie for the future, which is Lehner, who will be the goalie there probably in a year or two. Whereas Toronto, they're thinking more short picture, and they want them both here now.
Yeah, but I don't think that Reimer's going to. I don't think there's going to be a platoon situation.
No?
No. I think Reimer's going to end up on the bench. I think he's an NHL backup. Right now, at this moment, I mean, we saw Bernier have one good game. He didn't, a couple of games in the exhibition season, he was so-so.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think Bernier has, like you both do, I think he has a potential to be an all-star.
Yep.
I think the scouts are really high on Bernier, and he showed a great deal tonight. But if I had to choose my goaltenders right at this moment, Anderson's coming off a sensational season. He held Ottawa in last year when they had a ton of injuries.
He did.
Yeah.
With Spez out, with Carlson out. I mean, he was fantastic
What's funny
last
about
season.
Anderson, though, is, going into his career with Ottawa, he was a journeyman.
I know.
I mean,
I know.
in
Florida
Chicago, he
Panthers,
was in the
back-
Florida,
backup.
Philadelphia.
But that happens.
He-
Look at
he-
Bobrovsky. I mean, he
Yeah.
wasn't any good until last year.
So
that happens with goalies.
It does. And I keep sort of waiting for Anderson to come down to earth, but he's had 2 fabulous years in Ottawa.
He really has established himself now, and he's an all-star. And I think if I had to pick goalies right now,
Right.
I would take the Ottawa
Okay.
guys. That doesn't mean in a year from now that I would.
Right.
I don't think Reimer's going to be around next year. I don't think he's
you
going to
got
be
to
around
figure
Toronto.
maybe a team like Calgary will go after him.
Right.
Yeah, I
Brian
don't know.
Burke.
I don't know. Burke went to Reimer only because he absolutely had to after the monster was a bit of a failure.
A bit?
Gustafson. Remember the press conference Burke had to
Oh, my
announce?
goodness.
This is the best goalie not playing
in
here
the
in
world.
the NHL.
In the
That's right.
world, he said.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Berkey's had a few those press conferences that have been a little bit questionable.
Yeah, well, you know what's funny right now is this team of his that he put
Yeah.
together pretty well. Not all together,
well,
but
most
he
of it,
put.
yeah.
They are truculent
They are.
now.
Yeah.
They are those things that he said they were going to be, that he promised. Still, he's a bully and he's a goofball.
And one final Berkeyism, because I do like him.
You like him? I don't. Is that why you cut me off?
Sedin is not Swedish for punch me in the face.
Yeah.
Ha ha ha!
No,
I never
you're not-
thought that was
you
funny.
didn't think it was
No,
funny?
did you?
I did.
I never did. I don't find Burke to be a funny person.
Especially how
I've
he
never
said
seen
it.
the man smile ever.
Nope.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. And so if you're talking about GMs and styles of GMs, obviously Berkey isn't the kind of style of GM that you like. You're more of a Dave Notice guy because he is
Right.
quiet behind
Yeah.
the
Look
scenes.
what Burke did to Kadri.
Right.
He'd
Yeah.
bring him up and he'd bring him down, bring him up and bring him down. How long did it take Kadri to develop? Well, he finally developed after Burke left and after Wilson left.
Right.
I mean, he had a good season last year.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about
Great
that.
season last year.
Yeah, and I think that had a lot to do with Burke's departure. And now, if Carlisle's going to start fooling around with Kadri's mindset, I think he's asking for trouble.
All right.
Well, gentlemen, it's been a fantastic night here at Charlie Fitz Whiskies. Come on down. We're here in Vaughan. Of course, this whole night and all of this fun is sponsored by McCain. It's Leafs Talk. This is the post-game edition. We will see you very soon. Of course, this is all on talkingsports.tv. Thank you to everyone involved, Marty York, Eric Cohen, Danny Grossman,
Michelle
Dave Grossman.
Sturino.
Yeah, I'm
Yep.
trying to remember. I can't
Lior.
remember. Lior, sorry about that, Lior. Thank you once again for joining us, and we'll see you real soon right here on Talking Sports TV.
Good night.
Good night.